But first, let's talk about what's hot now. My foot is asleep.
Oh, I thought you pulled like a hammy or something.
No, it's just asleep.
Do you need us to rub it?
Well, there actually was a man out in the audience I noticed about it. No, I'm not into that. Did you guys have a good weekend? Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Restful.
Did you happen to go out to dinner anywhere at a restaurant?
Eat at home.
Did I?
No,
Yeah, I cooked
okay.
this weekend. Yeah, why?
Because if you got seated next to the window, it means that you were judged visually attractive enough for that primo seat. I'm not kidding. There was a documentary done in England, and apparently visually unattractive diners in London restaurants get sent to the back of the restaurant. This is true, while the attractive customers are given the best seats.
Yes.
And this makes
What?
sense.
Why do they
That's
say
why-
yes?
Does that make sense?
But come on, this is just common sense. That's why they put me in the back and they blow out the candle and the table like, yeah, really. You get back.
So no one can see.
That's wrong.
This is like the valet.
Candle on you. You're handsome. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there you go.
This is like valet parking. You know how they park cars and they put like those fancy cars, and when I pull up, they
Lamborghinis
put mine
everywhere.
way in the back. The Grand Cherokee beat in the back. But why?
But I think it's
do that?
wrong.
I think it's wrong, but I think it's common practice. I went to Paris this summer, and my very chic friend, Alex Fiquette, said, you have to go to this hotel. And he's like, but wear your chicest outfit. And I thought, well, why? And he's like, because they're super judgy, and if you're not deemed chic enough, they're not going to sit you in the courtyard. They'll sit you on the perimeter of the courtyard. And I said, well, where'd they seat you? And he was like, under some umbrella. And he's like the chicest guy I know, so I was terrified.
But you know what? That would say to me, I don't want to go to that restaurant.
That's what I was saying. I would never eat at a restaurant like that.
The crazy person in me was like, okay.
You wanna go back?
Let's see what happens. Let's see where you do see
I
me.
never had this problem, and it was very interesting to me. And I go to restaurants a lot. They may not be chic, but I eat. Okay.
And where do they put you? Wherever you want.
I always say I want to sit here, and I've never had a problem. You know, if they try to put me somewhere and I don't want to sit there, I go, you know, what about this seat? And I've never had anybody turn me down, but maybe I'm fine. Who knows?
You're beautiful.
But it happens.
Happens in LA
Oh,
it happens
all
in LA.
the time.
It also happens in our industry. I mean, look at award shows. They're always going to put the
100%.
cool people in the front row, and then people
Yeah, but
like us
then the minute you're not cool anymore, they don't
know
put
it.
you there anymore. So
No,
it's
then you just don't go
hurtful.
to it.
I think it's terrible. And especially when you have kids, they shove you in the back. I'm always seated in the back of the restaurant.
Oh, well,
when they're
yeah, you
going
should be. You know, with kids, yeah.
You know what?
You know. Speaking of restaurants, when you were in Paris, probably they hadn't started this, but now restaurants are offering all their patrons, you have to take a doggy bag with you, because they don't want to waste food. France is very food conscious now. I think it's actually very interesting. They have this big effort to not waste food, okay?
It's great. Food
So
waste.
do you ask for doggy bags? or you
all
get
the
it?
time. Food waste is such a huge problem, especially here in America. We always, my husband and I, doggy bag. I always blame it on him. Like, man, he's gonna graze on this tonight. But I love it. Here's the tip though. You never want to microwave your leftovers because it has a weird taste. Just put it in the oven for a few minutes and it tastes just like it came out.
Yeah, but do you
of the
do
oven.
that? You do that with Michael, but if you were out with, I don't know, bosses or some sort of a business.
I still would do it.
You really?
Oh yeah, I'm not embarrassed at all to take.
Yeah.
You would not take Meredith Vieira's food if you went out to dinner.
No,
with her.
Not my food.
No, I'm
Yeah.
weird about taking other people's food because there's spit
does
on it.
that?
No.
Who does-
People do
I
that.
You do not. Really?
Yeah, first of all, I ain't going out with somebody I don't know.
So
Okay.
you're gonna say, are you finished with that? Can I take that?
Well, if they haven't glossed all over it, I'll go. If they haven't
it?
touched it, yeah. If it's a big piece of something sitting there, I'm gonna put it in a box.
Well, I can understand a pizza.
Yeah,
I can
pizza's
understand
different.
a
Like
pizza.
spaghetti.
It's
and-
like not that bad.
I take home. I'm a big meat eater, so I love. Steak. I would ask someone if they had a half-eaten steak. I'd be like, well, can I take that home?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
I believe in taking it. The thing that I am bad about is that when I do take food home, sometimes I don't eat it because it's like 2 days later I go back and I go, I want something fresher. So I'm bad on that end.
I'm gonna
but I
call your
definitely
bluff here
take
for a
it.
second. If you're
Here we
out on a
go.
date, would you take your date's food?
I want him to get used to what's going to happen in the future. So absolutely.
And I love to chew on bones, but I won't do it in a restaurant because I
stop
love
it.
to
Like if
chew.
you're eating
and
a
it's-
lamb chop or something,
I
you just
love it.
steak
I
bone?
love it. Yes, and
Do you
so
take them home for Jess?
Yes, I always say to my dog Jasper. Poor Jasper never gets them. I get it. I love it.
Never heard of
To the
that
marrow?
before.
What do you get
Yes.
chomping in it?
Oh, it's delicious. Yes.
Good for your teeth.
My mom does.
I've
My
broken
mom
this
likes
teeth.
that.
But chicken bones. Maybe y'all should get together and do a bone off.
You can all take the bones
I
home
think I
together.
did that in my youth, actually. It used to be that to get birth control, pay attention, because you, Yamanika, really should, okay? A woman would need to make a trip to her doctor, right? You get checked out and you get a prescription. But now Oregon has become actually the first state to allow pharmacists to give over-the-counter birth control to women over the age of 18. They fill out a health questionnaire. If it matches what the pharmacist thinks is okay, they get the birth control pills. California is going to institute the same thing this spring. Yamanika, do you think that's a good idea?
Oh, absolutely, because I'm tired of taking Plan B like it's Plan A, so I need it.
When you first brought up this story, I was a little apprehensive, but then I thought for all the girls who are afraid to ask their mother or talk to their parents or who don't have an open relationship with their parents, that they can go and just go up and ask for this and take care of themselves. I'm for it.
But they can also be dangerous, some of those pills. People have reactions to them. So
I agree.
what works for one person might not for
That's why
another.
it's so important we have this Planned Parenthood for people like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Speaking of birth control, a man has typically 3 choices, right? A condom, a vasectomy, or abstinence, basically. The man just went, whoa, no way, Jose.
leaving
All
right now.
Well, for those of you who might be thinking about a vasectomy, but that's kind of permanent, this German entrepreneur came up with a solution. It's an implant that allows men to turn their fertility on and off with a switch. I'm not kidding. The inventor calls it, this is it.
It's a little switch.
It's like a light
The inventor claims that this small implant, surgically inserted into the ball,
Why did you say it like that?
the scrotum, it actually controls. Good stuff. It controls the spermatic ducts with the flick of a switch. Okay,
Yeah.
needs some further testing, but do you, huh?
Where's the
switch is in your
It's
ball.
in the sack.
It's in the sack.
Or below the sack. I mean,
Interesting concept because the skin is very thin
Yeah.
in that area. Well, you know, Lance.
I do know this very well. Yeah.
And then you can find it quick and press it.
I can barely get my husband to turn off the lights when we leave the room. I can't. But I mean, I'm saying, you straight people are complicated. This is crazy.
And whose responsibility is it to flip the switch?
Well,
It might be in foreplay.
And what if he leaves the lights on?
What if you're
aggressive? And it just kind
and
of
it goes
does it
on
itself.
itself.
you're
I
like-
don't know. Well, they're working on it.
Yeah,
They're just
okay.
talking as an idea. Do you like the idea?
I do like the idea,
Sure.
of course.
It's called a reverse vasectomy. I mean, do that.
No,
This could-
why? But that's surgical and everything. This is just a little switch.
So if I'm feeling in the mood, we turn it off.
So
And
if
whatever.
you
you want to
make
get
a
somebody
baby.
pregnant, you
Now
don't
make
need
a
to just have
baby.
sex.
Imagine if you had like a vindictive girlfriend. She's like going down there and she turns it
That's
back
what I'm
on.
saying. Who's in
There's a
control?
slippery slope with this puppy.
Yes, there is. Okay, let's move on. All right. But anyway, they're going to do trials, so we'll see what happens. I actually love this next story. There's a 79-year-old grandmother in a nursing home in the United Kingdom. She's gone viral after she went missing for a few hours without telling the staff. She took off with her granddaughter to get her first tattoo. She's 79. Look at that, a little heart.
Love this guy.
Her granddaughter had a tattoo. She loved it. And she's got 11 grandchildren, and that inspired her to go do it. And she was asked what the family reaction would be to this, and she said, "I don't bleepin' care." You go, Grandma. She's good.
Yeah, she's tough too. She even said after this, they were done with the tattoo. She's like, when are you going to finish? They're like, we finished 5 minutes ago. She didn't feel a thing.
No, but her attitude is great. She said, when you get to be my age, you just have to live life to the full every day, which is exactly right. Yeah.
I love a road grandma.